Last year,
oh, very good. I can see them down this right side.
Ma'am,
Very good.
ma'am, can you see my passport? I'm showing it to you, ma'am.
Let me, yes.
Silent photos, ma'am.
Did you find 12 photos?
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, I kept it in order. This is the Thailand flag and this is Buddha in Thailand.
Very good, very good.
Ma'am, I also prepared my passport.
Okay, you can start.
Show me your passport. I cannot see.
It's Myra.
Okay, let's go. So can you see the screen, everybody? Everybody can see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
great. So,
Yes, ma'am.
whoops, I leant on my button. Who can remember the 6 things that you need to do before you travel? Can you remember 6?
Ma'am, we need to take a passport and visa.
Ma'am, check your passport. Check your passport. Must have 6 months. Get a visa for country you are going. Get a travel insurance. Plan your trip. Prepare financially. Learn a few phrases in the native language.
Oh, I think you're reading that. That's too good for your memory. But that's excellent that you know those 6 things. So let's just review. Why do you need to check your passport?
Ma'am, someone is unmuted. Ma'am, there is a lot of noise.
Everybody mute yourself. Please mute yourself so that you can hear Gail Madam voice, okay?
Okay. All right. So we need 6 months on our passport or they will not let us into their country. So if your passport is only valid for 5 more months, you cannot travel there. You must go and renew your passport. You need to find out if you need a visa and if you need a vaccination. I heard on our television last night that in the future, to travel to another country, Qantas Airways will not let you on the plane unless you have had a COVID-19 vaccination. So you will not be able to travel without getting that vaccination. So in Australia, we can start getting that vaccination in March. So a few months after Christmas, we can get that vaccination and then we can start to travel again. All right.
Mom, here is my passport.
Because, let me see. I can't see.
It's Darahas.
Because I can.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's excellent. I do want to see all of your passports if we have time. If not,
Ma'am, my passport.
give me a picture, please. Okay. So, you don't want to end up going to hospital. Today, we're going to go to America, and America is the most expensive place to go to hospital, much worse than Australia. So you really need to have travel insurance. You need to sit down and plan your trip before you leave. You need to get some local money. I know in India, there are many money exchanges. So you go to the money exchange and you get some American dollars. And it's a good idea to learn some local phrases. So you can say, excuse me, where is the toilet? And you don't get stuck and you don't know where the toilet is. So let's go to America. All right then, I would like you to tell me something that you would like to see in America. Can you think of 5 things? If I said,
Statue of Liberty. Ma'am, the
can you name 5 things to yourself that you would like to see in America? What would you like to see?
Disneyland.
Oh, everyone wants to go to Disneyland. Okay. Where else?
Statue of Liberty and White House.
Yes. I've been to
Yellowstone
America 4
National Park.
times.
Ma'am, Yellowstone National Park.
Uh-huh. What else? Something else you'd like to see?
The Grand Canyon.
Whoa, yes, that's fantastic. I love it. Yes, you would love it. Anything else? I think there's a lot you don't really know yet about America. Today, I've got
Ma'am,
lots
Mount
of photos
Rushmore.
to show you. I'm sorry, what was that?
Ma'am, Mount Rushmore.
Oh, yes, that's interesting. Yes. There's so much to see in America. You need to go many, many times to see all the interesting things. Okay. Now, there's a mistake here. How many states in America do you know? There's 50. I made a typing error here. There are 50 states in America. Now, Hawaii is not joined to the rest of the United States. It's out there by itself a long way from the United States. And Alaska, that's part of the United States of America as well. So you can see there are many, many states in America. Now, where is this? Who knows?
Golden Gate Bridge.
And what state is it in?
Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes, that's true, but what state is it in?
America.
No, which state of America?
California.
California.
No. San Francisco. Where is this in America?
Mama.
New York. New York.
Yes,
New York.
you know New York, don't you? Yes. Now, I should have put in a different photo of the Statue of Liberty because on the Statue of Liberty, her toe is the same height as me. Just her toe. So you can imagine how huge she is. And behind her is New York City, Manhattan. It's
Excuse
a
me,
very... I'm sorry, what was that?
Ma'am, I'm Shashank, ma'am.
Say
Okay,
slowly.
Shashank, tell me.
Ma'am, the famous food in all over the India is...
Ma'am, the famous food items in USA which are contributed all over the world is Domino's Pizza and KFC. These are the main two.
It's burger.
And McDonald's and all that really healthy food. Okay, what is this place?
White House.
Yes,
On
who
the
lives
White House.
there? Who lives there?
Ma'am, Donald Trump.
Yes.
Donald
Are you allowed inside? Are you allowed inside?
No.
No. You have to stand at the fence where I was standing to take this photo. So that's the White House where the president lives. Where is this, everybody?
Ma'am, Disneyland.
Disney World.
Yes,
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Disney World, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, it was from 1890.
Okay, so you all want to visit Disneyland if you go to the US.
It is Walt Disney. Yes, ma'am.
How
Ma'am,
much
I like
does it cost you?
Disneyland a lot.
How much do you think you have to pay to go into Disneyland?
Ma'am, maybe $1,000.
Woo! Oh, that's a lot of money. Nobody would be able to go. It's too expensive. Okay, these are the prices. $154 for you to go in. Now, what is that in rupees? Maybe Buji ma'am, how much is $154?
Yes, ma'am, maybe.
In rupees. 75 times 154. So I'll tell you, 75.
It's 11,550 rupees.
All right. Who's got 11,000 rupees that they would like to pay to go into Disneyland for the day? Woo! Some people are very rich. I think that's a lot of money. Can you imagine if a few kids in your family and your mum and dad all went in together? It would cost you a lot of money to go in. So just for one day, 154. If you want to go in the second day, it will cost you 235 for 2 days. Very expensive. So these photos that I'm showing you are photos that I took on my camera in America. Now, when
is that a real rocket or is it like a photo?
Let me explain these photos to you, and then you might like to ask me a question. When you go into NASA, you can see these rockets. Now, these were all rockets that have really been up into space, and then they've come back, and it's like a museum. It's in a field at the front of NASA, and you can go up and touch them. Now, I find it quite incredible to think that I can go and touch something that went up into space. All of these here, they are the actual space suits of astronauts that have been into space. And you can see them.
Ma'am, astronomers use their space to go into the space and do some research, and they have oxygen in them, in that
That's
suit.
right. Exactly. Now, what do you think I'm touching down here? This is my hand.
A magnet?
No. It's a part of the moon. It's one of the rocks. It's a part of one of the rocks that Neil Armstrong and his team brought back from the moon when they walked on the moon. They collected rocks and brought them back. And so I put my hand on part of the moon, and I thought that was fantastic. Now, over here, you know, they make 2 of everything. In case one breaks or they need a reserve one, they make 2 of everything. So over here, you can see the spare space vehicle that they made. Now, this is exactly the same as the one they had on the moon. So that's the spare one that they drove around on the moon with. Now, this is one of the actual space shuttles that went to the moon and came back. And so they've got that real thing there, and that's my husband standing there. And you can stand there and you can look inside it. I can't understand that question or that comment. What is it?
Ma'am, it's a spacecraft.
Yes, that's right. And it actually went up into space. And they open up this great big door here, and they can take things out. And this space shuttle was helping to build the International Space Station. So they open this up, and the men float out there, and they do things in space. Now, here is one of the actual rockets that has been to the moon and come back. Now, over here, you can see that they are building a new tower, and that was for the rocket that took off about 1 month ago into space. So when the space rocket takes off, it burns a lot of that tower, and they have to rebuild it for the next rocket. So this thing here is amazing to see. They are so big. You really can't.
Whenever it goes into the space and it breaks into pieces, and the front part will be a satellite-like thing.
See this little bit here? That's the part that the astronauts are sitting in. And for lots of them, that's the one that they eject and they land in the sea when they come back. sitting inside
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
I sat inside there. I sat inside the one that went into space and came back. There's not much room. It's very cramped. I wouldn't like to be in there for a long time.
Ma'am.
Now, America is a huge country. I want you to get your map, everybody, and find United States of America and find India. Tell me.
Ma'am, it is on the continent North America.
Sorry, say again.
Ma'am, it's on the continent North America.
It's on a continent, not America. What is?
Ma'am, United States.
That's right. United States is Central America. You have North America, which is Canada. You have South America, which is Brazil and Mexico. So can you find the United States? That's right. You've found it there. I can see you pointing to
Ma'am,
it.
I found it.
Okay, now find India.
India? One sec, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, India is in Asia.
So which is the biggest? United States or India?
United States.
United States, ma'am.
Ma'am, United States is very big, ma'am. United
It
States.
certainly is.
United
And
States
the
is
United States has got many different styles of countryside. Over here, this is when I was driving through Arizona and I saw desert and I saw rocky mountains and it was
Ma'am,
quite...
did you go to a desert?
Yes, I did. I drove down this road here that you can see.
Ma'am, how could you bear the heatness right there?
Where I live now, it's hotter than that place was, can you believe? So there are so many different parts of America. Now, here are some American beaches. Now, what do you like about the beach?
Where are you living now, ma'am?
Australia.
Ma'am, the water.
Australia.
Ma'am, in the beach, they do surfing right there.
Yes, but this beach here, there's no surf here. There's no surf here.
Maybe a small beach, ma'am.
Ah, it depends on the position of the beach if they get waves, big waves. So what do you like about the beach? Who likes the beach?
Water.
Ma'am, me.
Ma'am, the water,
Ma'am,
ma'am, the water.
Yes, I can swim in there. And if I stand, the tidal waves will come and like they'll touch my legs and I can go back.
Who has been swimming in a beach in India?
Ma'am, me.
Ma'am,
Anybody?
Again, I have swim.
Yeah, raise your hands, children.
Ma'am, I come, ma'am.
Raise your hand if you have been to the beach.
Raise your hands.
Okay. What don't you like about the beach? What don't you
Crabs,
like?
crabs.
Oh, yes. But the crabs
Ma'am,
are
I
scared
know
of
something about the beach. If we get cold, if we eat roasted crabs, our cold will go in a second. I meant in a day.
Okay.
Ma'am, the sand, I hate the sand.
Yes, and when it's summertime, the sand is very hot. If you don't have shoes on, it burns the bottom of your feet, and it's really bad. And if you don't cover your skin, you get sunburn.
will be dancing on the sand.
Exactly,
Yes,
I've done that many times. And sometimes the waves pull you down the beach. You have to be careful when you're swimming at the beach.
Ma'am,
Now,
I hate the
there are
sand
many
because
national parks. Okay, so we've gone to a different park. If you
Ma'am,
look
these
over
are natural parks. These are
Yes.
natural mountains and natural ones of USA, ma'am.
that's right, and
And
you
we
can
see
see
almost
there are
many
many.
varieties of flowers in
Yeah.
this nature.
There are many different types of national parks. This one here is the Grand Canyon, and it is amazing. And this one here is Yosemite, which is a beautiful national park with mountains. I went there, and when I went there, I was driving out of that national park and I saw a bear. It crossed the road, a real live wild bear. And over here, beautiful lakes in their national parks. Ah, where is this?
Ma'am, there are 62 national parks in the USA, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, maybe in
Ma'am, New York.
Ma'am, Las Vegas.
no, it's not. It's New York. It's Times Square, which is very famous.
This is the busiest place in the New York, ma'am. Middle of the city.
Yes.
With
It
lots
is, and
of
there's some pretty
shops
weird people there, let me tell you. Some pretty weird people. They dress up like funny things. Maybe next week I should show you some funny pictures of people that dress up. There was one man there, a grown man, and he was wearing a nappy. We call that, what do you call nappy? Diaper. And he had a dummy in his mouth, and he was crying like a baby. And if you wanted to take his photo, you had to give him some money. And that was his job. He was earning money by looking weird. All right, these are houses in San Francisco. So aren't they interesting houses? There's a lot of steps to walk up. There's many, many different things to see in America. And we know the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. I walked across that bridge, and it's very funny because it moves 9 meters in the wind. So it sways. And when there's a strong wind, it can move 9 meters. That's pretty scary. Look at this house. It's very hilly in San Francisco. So they built this house. It tricks your eyes, doesn't it? They've built it so that it's perfectly horizontal instead of on the slope with the hill. So when you walk around San Francisco, it's very, very hilly. And they have some funny buildings like this. Ah, now we go to Las Vegas in Nevada. Now this is out in the middle of the desert. Do you know why they built Las Vegas? There's a lot of gambling and a lot of casinos in Las Vegas. And there were big arguments about who would get the tax money from the casinos. And they couldn't decide, and they wouldn't let both states next door, they wouldn't let them build there. So these people traveled out into the desert between the other 2 states, and they built Las Vegas in the middle of the desert. So you're driving along, and then all of a sudden you come to this city, and this is what you see. These are the hotels. Every hotel has a casino. So
ma'am, the Eiffel Tower.
And that is a hotel, and you can stay in rooms going up in the Eiffel Tower. And inside, I should have shown you some pictures inside that hotel. It's amazing. I'll try and remember next week. Now look at this hotel.
Ma'am?
Yes?
Ma'am, did you saw the Pizza Tower, ma'am?
Yes, yes, I did.
It's very interesting.
Every country here has their own hotel, and they're trying to get you interested in going to their country. So people from Paris run that hotel, and this hotel here that I'm looking at, it plays music every half an hour. When the clock strikes a half an hour or an hour, they play music, and it's beautiful music, and it's very loud. And all of these fountains squirt water up and down, dancing to the music. So when they have,
you take it out from a building?
Yes, inside the hotel, and I'm looking out of the hotel, and every half an hour you can watch. And if the music is soft, the water is low, and as the music gets louder, it goes like a piano, and some of the fountains go and some of the fountains stop. And then when if the drums play, all the fountains squirt up. It's really spectacular.
Ma'am, it's a type of photo show.
What's that?
Ma'am, it's a type of photo show.
Yes, it's amazing. Now, here's inside one of the casinos. So there's a lot of these machines where you put money in. Have you seen these machines in India?
Not at all,
No?
ma'am.
You put money in the machine and you pull the handle and the wheels spin around. And sometimes you get winning numbers and all the money falls out into a tray at the bottom. And people spend thousands and thousands of dollars there. And they gamble here on the gambling table, and they buy, these are called chips, and they buy them and they put them on their lucky number, and then someone spins the wheel, and if it lands on your lucky number, you get lots of money. So here's another national park.
Ma'am, did you get?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Ma'am,
did you
it looks very, very dangerous.
Yes, and I was very scared standing out there on the edge. But that is a huge national park with these incredible rocks and many, many waterfalls. If you stand out there, you can see about 20 waterfalls. Amazing country. And the same national park, and you can see the beautiful colors in autumn. And you can see the deers and the bears walking around in the wild. Isn't that a beautiful picture? Very beautiful place. And you, one of the, this is a rodeo, and Americans love their rodeo. So these people are riding bulls, and you have to stay on for 10 seconds and you can win a prize. But I don't think I want to have a try. I don't think so. Country music. Many states in America are famous for country music. Lots of the music you probably hear in India comes from the country music places in the US. Now, here is a country music festival. They have lots of these where you take your own chair and you sit down there and you watch and listen to the music. You can see all the cowboy hats. So lots of country music people like their cowboy hats. Now, oh, my picture's gone. Okay, what not to do. I need to tell you what not to do if you go to America, because it's different from other countries. So don't do these
Ma'am,
things.
you know something about America?
Who is scribbling on the screen? Who is drawing? Who is drawing on our screen?
Ma'am, Shashank is drawing.
Oh, Shashank, stop. Okay.
I'm sorry, ma'am, by mistakenly, ma'am.
Okay. Now, America is a big place. So if you go to America, you cannot see all of America. You have to decide what kinds of things you would like to see, and you need to plan. Now, I have driven across America. I started on the East Coast and I drove all the way across to the, I started on the West Coast and I drove all the way across, but it took 1 month. So if you're just going for 2 weeks, you have to decide what you're going to see. You can't drive everywhere, otherwise you'll be spending all of your time in the motor car. Now, in America, you don't touch people. It's the same in Australia. If I go to Thailand, maybe not Thailand, but some other Asian countries, they always hug you. But in America, people don't show a lot of emotion in public. So it's okay to wave, but it's not okay to hug a person unless you know them well. Now, you should not walk around by yourself at nighttime, because there is a lot of crime and a lot of people in America who don't do the right thing, and a lot of people without jobs. So they try and rob people at nighttime. So you will not go walking around by yourself at night time. Every state in America does things just a little bit differently. So you need to find out about the places you're going to and find out how the people in that place behave. And different states have different accents. But if you don't understand what someone says, you don't say, "What? What?" You should say, "Excuse me, what did you say?" Or, "Excuse me, I didn't understand what you said." Wait till I just go forward here and we'll have a
I never thought I had an accent, but everyone else
listen.
told me I did. So I never really understood my accent. But we say soda pop, and that was weird, I guess.
The great thing about Oklahoma is it's really this confluence of a whole bunch of different parts of the country. So the northern part of the state is really like the plains. So people kind of have that flat Iowa accent.
People always know I'm from the Midwest when I say bagel.
But if you get down south to the Little Dixie portion, it has a much more of a southern drawl.
Elongating those vowels a little bit and saying y'all every sentence. How y'all doing today? Y'all want to go to Waffle House? Come on over. We're going to Waffle House.
It's just like real round in your mouth, and you're just like, hey y'all, how we doing tonight? Are you guys gonna go down to the game this weekend? I'm so excited. Like Joshua's doing real great this year.
Everybody talks really slow, especially compared to New Yorkers.
Most New Yorkers are loud. You gotta fit your way into a conversation most oftentimes when you're in New York.
Vermont's accent is very unique, and it's hard to slip into unless you're talking to another person who like grew up farming. But the phrase that I can say in my accent is always, "Oh sure, bud. Oh sure."
People from California kind of have they say
Colorado doesn't really have a typical accent. Lots of people say that it has no accent, but you'll definitely get called out if you say Colorado. It's Colorado.
I've been told from people in New York that my state has an accent. Some people go Chicago. I don't think we do.
There's parts that I can hear like a little bit of a...
People in the South tend to sound a little bit more like they could be from Texas.
really wide syllables, really kind of drawn out phrases.
It's a little sing-songy, like a little bit Valley Girl almost.
Oop, what happened to her?
Coming from the left coast, but don't worry because we don't know that it's coming. And people would be like, what are you saying?
I can put on the, you gotta park the car and hop the yard and give the guy a quarter for some chowder. That's a standard Boston accent right there.
Any ER would have an AH at the end. My mom has this kind of strange half French Canadian, half Boston accent that sounds like peanut characters. Wah, wah.
Well, if you're from North Dakota, you've got some long O's. Oh yeah, you betcha. Yeah, hang on to your R's a little too. It gets a little. The best example of the Wyoming accent I feel like I've ever seen was in Brokeback Mountain. One curve in the road, and they missed it.
So if you live in Washington State, no one ever stands and you're like, "Worsh? What kind of a word is that?"
We pronounce our T's as D, so we say.
I never thought I had an accent, but everyone else told me I did.
Okay, so you can see that there are many accents in different states. They talk quite differently, but you must be polite if you don't understand what someone says. Now, here's something that's pretty strange about America. If you look at this map, you can see the tax. Every state has different amounts. Look, if you go to Columbia here, you pay 2.9% tax. But over here, if you go to Arizona, you have to pay 6.6% tax. Now, when you see the price on an item, that's not how much you pay.
JC,
So
don't draw, okay? Don't draw on the screen.
I might pick up a t-shirt and it says $5. So I think, oh, good, I have $5. And I go to the checkout and she says, that's $5.60. And I said, I beg your pardon, it's only $5. She said, no, plus tax. So you never know how much you're going to pay until you get to the checkout and they add the tax on. So it's all different and every state is different. It's crazy. So you never know how much something is going to cost you. Now, in America, you have to tip Do you know what tipping means?
Shravani ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes,
you can disable the drawing option in the settings, ma'am. Because
Okay.
everyone are drawing.
Yeah, I'll do it. We'll take a short break, Gail. Okay, we'll be just back. We'll take, please children, log out and log in back again. Okay, children?
Okay.
After 5 minutes or now?
Right now.
I never thought I had an accent.
Okay?
Okay.
Log out and log in again.
Okay.